way into an opportunity that he didn't deserve. Uh, but let him tell it he does. But at DCCW, you don't. But yeah, so yeah, I'm not happy about it. I don't want to do it. Uh, but of course, DCW wants to throw all these curveballs at me, so it is what it is. I must say, I saw a little comment online. I want to say yesterday or so, where someone mentioned that I was his opponent and he wanted a second. Uh, Basically not having the match. And I'm like, that's fine, sweetheart. If you don't want to have the match, you can go somewhere else. I can get somebody, I can get Jay Vidal or somebody to come in and be my opponent, because at the end of the day, no one can unvalidate Prince Handsome, what he's done, his championship, this championship. I've been working so hard. I have really been putting in the work to help validate this title, help validate DCCW. I've took on every person that they've given me of all walks of life from all over the United States, as well as trained by people from WWE, AEW, and non whatever they want to call themselves. I've taken on some very good opponents. So he, of course, is going to think that he's just so much more higher. He's just top tier or whatever. But at DCCW, Prince Handsome is one of the top ones in charge when it comes to this title. So you're going to put some respect on my name, and either you're going to take this match or you can go walk and go beg somebody else for a booking somewhere else, because this is a DCW National Championship, and we don't got time for none of that, and neither do I, because I'm Prince Handsome, and I didn't win this by fluke. I handle my business. I stand on business, and I'm making this title something to want to watch, something to look forward to, as well as people want to watch me and look forward to what I have on, whether it's my outfit, my opponent I'm taking on next, or, just my match alone. So, Mikey, if you don't like it, you can just go somewhere else, because I'll be more than happy to cancel this match between me and you.
So the last time, if memory serves, he was at DCCW 3 years ago, more or less, maybe four. I know I wrestled him, and then you wrestled him. He only wrestled like a handful of matches, I guess trying to establish himself at DCCW, and then he suddenly disappeared. I guess we don't know why, but he disappeared. But now he's back. And what you're saying is, from my understanding, that he may not be taking it too seriously. Because I noticed from the last match he had with JJ Dillinger, it seemed like he was looking past JJ. Now, and JJ, he's a dangerous wrestler. I don't think he's one to, really look past by. But, I mean, he squeezed out the win. It was a pretty good match between him and JJ. So do you think that Mikey is doing the same thing with you? Do you think that he just thinks he could just come back after so many years and just get a title shot? Which I guess, I mean, you would be his second match in 3-4 years, right? And already he gets a title match. And it took how long? I mean, between you and I, it took almost 5 years, 4 or 5 years, more or less, going up the rankings. So I don't know. Well, I mean, what is that about?
I don't know. I don't know if it's something in the water down there and Central Florida, but a lot of those guys and gals that came out of there, just the first year in, just coming out feeling like they are just deserving of titles and more pay and just everything. Like, it's like, humble yourself. You're only a couple years in, and if I'm not mistaken, me and him have been wrestling the same amount of years. I think he started around the same time I did. But, I mean, he had 2 years away, so technically I was wrestling within those 2 years that he wasn't. So I kind of got a little bit more behind my belt as far as the years. But he's probably wrestled quite a few matches, or, he wrestled every weekend. So he probably got the matches behind me, but I still continued to wrestle within those years that he did
Right.
not. But yeah,
I think you caught up, if not more.
There's a possibility, yes, that it caught up. But even the times I wasn't wrestling, I was going out there networking, went to NWA, talked to some great minds, got to see the backstage aspects and get to learn and listen to some of the great people like Jazz, uh, Bob Orton, all those type of people that are involved at NWA. And just get to learn and put more in this brain of mine to be
Right.
great from here on out. But yes, he has this thing where he wants to look past the people that is put in front of him at DCCW, and he's trying to look past me and go for this title. But my thing is, I don't feel like you're deserving of it because you're not. Uh, Here at DCCW, you got to earn it. We earned it. We did our 5 years, and then we finally got the opportunity and we capitalized on it. Like you're
And we
not
got it.
expecting. Like I feel like people feel entitled just because they feel like in their head that they're great, that they're a draw. When in a lot of cases they're not a draw, and they
Right.
just think that they just are just supposed to be given what they want because they feel like in their head they're top tier. And I'm not taking away the fact that he's not a great in-ring competitor. I'm sure people love him, but he's going to little times 1,000 with it, and he needs to bring it back down and humble himself and don't disrespect us at DCCW because we have came from ground up in these past couple of years. DCCW has grown on a social media level, on a visual level, on a talent level. So it's like you're not going to sit here and just treat it like it's just some stepping stone because we are most definitely not a stepping stone, and
Right.
neither am I, and neither is this title.
And that's true because sometimes I think that they see what we're doing, and DCCW has done their what's that?
And they want a piece of the pie, but the pie's all ate up, ate now for you.
There ain't no leftovers. No, sorry, there ain't no leftovers. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking at his social media. He's talking about let's put some gold on this waist, on
That's what
his
he wants.
waist.
He's thirsty for a belt. Like, honey, just be glad you're booked. Just go out there and just have the best matches. Because at the end of the day, it's not always about the title. You make the title. The title don't make you.
Exactly.
And you thirsty.
There's a lot of belt hogging in the indies.
Yeah, you said like that promo he did for the other promotion where he was talking about how he ain't got a win yet. He wants to win the tournament and all that stuff. Like don't be worried about this. Go out there and just have a great match. Go out there and put some more footage out there for people to see you
Right.
to get you to a high level. You being thirsty for a title ain't gonna always help because you can get the title, but what you gonna do with it? That's the thing. A lot of people that had this title before me, they didn't do anything with it. They weren't showcasing it. They weren't going online and doing lives like this. They weren't doing anything with it. So like all they're gonna do is take the title, like you said, hog it and do nothing with it. And we won't see them again until the next show.
No, exactly. So speaking of which, so let's just look forward ahead. All right. Mikey, he's obviously a good wrestler. He's competitive. This will probably be, if I'm not mistaken, and Richard King was really good too. But with Mikey Spandex, because of his history, of his affiliations, and so on and so forth, this will probably be the biggest match of your career. Not counting obviously Jake Logan, who's now the heavyweight champion. So walking into it, let's just assume, okay, you go in there, you beat Mikey Spandex, right? That's be a huge notch on your belt, having that name on your record. Who's next after that, or what would your reign be? Because I think you're right now, what, 3 shows in, still holding the national champion, which is a big deal. You wrestled the likes of Richard King, who's good. Wolf, up and coming newcomer, but still, he did pretty good, I think. Very competitive. Mikey Spandex. What's I mean, we only have a couple shows before the year is out. What's a couple of names you think would be out there? Are you
What
gonna play it safe, or maybe get a big name that might be a threat to your title?
No, I want whoever is greatest that I can get because I want to challenge myself each show, and I feel like each show I get a challenge and I learn new aspects about myself and just the craft of professional wrestling. So I want some of the greatest. A little birdie told me that Jay Vidal from Impact and wrestled and trained with Gangrel was knocking on the DCCW door. As far as having the opportunity, I'd love to take him on. I've heard, people want to
Yeah,
get Effie to come back in and maybe have another match there. I'd love to take on him. That'd be a dream match of mine. I would love another match at Adonis, Richard King. Um, Whoever they want to bring me, I'm down. Uh, you know, but it's certain ones that feel like they're better than thou, that gonna get humbled real quick. But some of those gentlemen, I would love to wrestle. Dante Casanova, he's another one. I love his.
yeah,
Um, but some of those guys will be awesome. Even taking on a DCCW original before myself started wrestling at DCCW. I'd love to take them on because September is going to be our anniversary show. So I'd love to take on maybe one
oh,
of
that's true.
just to kind of have a little passing of the torch, or not that I said passing of the torch, but seeing the new blood versus the old, and just having a little matchup with whoever that was from back then. Because DCW started what, like 2013, so any of those guys from 2013 to like 2015 that were there before me, I wouldn't mind taking on any of them either.
Yeah, that would be great because me being a tag team champion, I would love to face, like, say, one of the previous champions. Who they had, Devon Dudley's
TNT. Mm-hmm.
TNT, their sons, they were really good. Who else?
They had
Even
Odin and it was Odin and whoever he tagged with. He was another one that was wrestled before I started.
yeah,
He's in
definitely
he's in NWA now.
NWA. That would be great, especially for that September show, the 10-year anniversary. Maybe bring back some of the old faces and see, pass on the torch because when they were running, when they were top tier, we were still kind of working, paying our dues. At that time it was what, Falcone, Storm, Effie, Hayden Price, all of them. They were the top tier. Now they're all gone. This is technically, this is our era. We're on top of the heap. We're the champions. So whoever wants it can get it. I know Nick and I and Dylan, we don't care. We'll take on anybody. Which, speaking of which, I have a little tag team action myself against, what was it? The Rapture. Actually, the one you just wrestled with Richard King,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, what's his name?
Jay Sky.
Jay Sky. They've been around. They do things. I believe a couple of them been on TV. So this is probably one of our toughest matches. They're young, they're hungry, yada yada yada. It's okay. We always have a little ace up our sleeve, and we figure it out because that's what we do at DWI. We cripple the competition. So you bring your best. You bring your best. On a side note, so I don't know, I did notice the past episode, and I don't think I mean, you have reacquainted with her, but I haven't really. Uh, but she came out in your last match, which is Embra Cato. Um, she was part of the Legion of Pain. We all pretty much started at the same time. Now 4 years later, we completely, it's flipped on his head. So what are your thoughts? I know you had your previous manager. I don't know what happened there, but now Embra Cato's in the picture. You think she'll be an asset to Team Relevant? I know you're the original Team Relevant back in the day.
Yeah, that's where the key word is team. So team doesn't have to necessarily consist of two or three,
Right.
multiple. So team relevant is very broad, and it's not just limited to one or two people. So you may see God know who come out, but it's just help support myself, help support this championship, help support DCCW, as well as just support being relevant, trying to spread relevancy to all that come to DCCW each show. So yeah, you'll see the likes of her. You never know who's just going to come out with me. At the end of the day, I'm all about team oriented. Is it team orientation or is it just being team
Yeah,
oriented?
it's team oriented, team
Uh,
player.
yeah, being a team player. So yeah, it was a little nerve wracking for Ember because she hasn't been out there in a while. That's probably like her first time back, really just out there in the midst of things. But she'll get her groove back, and she'll be, uh, you'll see her story unfold and see if she decides just to continue to be out at ringside or possibly getting back in the ring and going on one with some of those great women we have at DCCW.
Right. And I did see some clips, or when I was there, I saw the match, and it seemed like y'all still had that chemistry. So I think she might be an asset. She might, because there's gonna be a lot of stiff competition coming your way. So you know what? Any little help counts. I mean, I wish I could say the thing about Dylan, but Dylan can only do what he can do. But he does manage, he does book it. We are champions, so you know, kudos for him.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see these next couple of shows. Like I said, the anniversary shows is going to be coming up. It's going to be great to see what's going to happen there, and bring on the competition. A lot of people there's starting to be more eyes here at DCW because DCW is growing on just like a more visual level, and a lot of people are wanting to come knocking. So bring them on. We'll spread the relevancy. In my case, y'all can spread the was it crippleness? I don't know. Um,
We'll spread crippleness. June 29th, Saturday, Baker County Fairgrounds, because that's how they talk. Bell time 6:30. Doors open 5:30. You know what the deal is. The champions are in the center. You got Prince up top. I'm in the bottom with Dylan Willer. We holding it. We holding it down for DCCW because that's what we do. And then you got the rest of them. You got your Lexis. You got your Jules Bradleys. You have Alex Ventura. And who else is on there?
Tiny Tunnelly is all you want to see.
Oh, yeah. She's making her debut at DCCW. Of course, that dude, Jamie Stanley. Jackson Streets, because he from the streets. Whatever that means. And, of course, the Rapture. Yes, yes. Look at that. Look at the fire. Look at the graphics. Kudos to the graphic designer.
Yes, he's been doing an excellent job.
That's right. And that's all there is to it. And let me just say this. I'm happy for us. We started 5 years ago, Legion of Pain, and now look at us. Look at us. We did our thing, and now we're on top of the world right now at DCCW. We're on top of the world. You're a champion. I'm a champion. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit for us. So we're going to have a long, long reign. And, we could call out. Because you've mentioned this before. I don't know if you mentioned it. I think you've mentioned it live. But, there's no respect for North Florida and professional wrestling. You get a lot of transplants. You get a lot of people from Miami, Tampa, who think they know better, because they perform around the performance center that's over there. But that doesn't mean that's you, an oversaturation of promotion. Just because you wrestle every week doesn't mean you know what you're doing. Then when they come up here, they come with an attitude like, oh, thank you. Like they're doing us a favor, but you're not. You're not. We're the northern professional wrestlers here in Florida. So that's what it is. You're going to have to come through here. And it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. So all that politic and whatever you want to do, it's not going to work here. Because we the politicians, we lobby. We got a little bit of this. Actually, I don't really got much of that. But it's not going to happen. Whatever stuff you got going down in Orlando, Miami, Tampa, whatever they have over there, it's not going to work over here. It's not. So June 29th.
Respect. Put some respect.
That's right.
On our names. Put some respect on our championship. Put some respect on DCCW because you ain't gonna just come stepping in there throwing your weight around like you're King George or something, because you're not. So
Exactly.
Royalty, and that's
right. And that's what it is. And the few pro wrestlers that are local here in North Florida, we got to kind of stick together because you know how it is. We're gonna get, we're gonna see. They see us as lower, and they're higher. You know.
And that's fine. They can do that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna show my worth every time I step out to that ring. So you can doubt me, you can sleep on me, but just wait till you actually see me. Each time I go out there, I better myself, and I try to uh, fix what I didn't do the last time. So you can't say I'm out there half stepping because I'm most definitely not.
No, exactly. And you get better. And I see your matches. You get better and better, more confident every time. And we've arrived. You know, obviously, just with anything else, we don't stop learning. But at the same time, we're not who we were 5 years ago. There's a lot of wrestlers you meet in the locker rooms here and there throughout the years. And obviously, there's always people that, been doing it for a long time. But then they see you again and they think, oh, that's that kid from. No, it's not. It's not.
Right? Because
So,
I've this will be my third time taking on Mike. I've wrestled him two other times and two other occasions. So yes, like you said, I'm not the same Prince Hanson that he saw those other times.
no, exactly. And just a quick shout out to our graphic designer who's been doing a good job. Go Jason Hagel, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Thank you very much.
Jason C. Just call him Jason C.
The Jason C. There you go. And his company is called Sandman Art and Design. Sandman Art and Design. He does great work. He gives you a good price, but he's on top of it. He knows what he's doing.
Yes,
So
he's been doing great. He's really helped contribute to having that elevating, or like Vanessa likes to say, level up for DCCW. So thank you so much, Jason.
yeah, great work. He's given DCCW a nice little facelift. Without all that sticky surgery, just a nice little fresh, you know, just cleaning it up a little bit. But yeah, again, June 29th, we halfway there. We're halfway there for this heat wave. Get your sunblock ready. All right. You don't want that advanced melanoma. It's not pretty. It's not cute. Heat wave. Stay hydrated because we're bringing on the heat. DWI versus the Rapture. Rapture has a lot of history in Florida. I don't know about anywhere else, but here in Florida, they definitely have a lot of how you say they have a name. When I first started, I kept hearing about the Rapture. I think even Lexi was part of it at one point, maybe very early in the career. I don't know what their dynamic is now. So it should be interesting, everybody under the same roof. Let me see who else we got. I believe it's going to be, we got Lexi versus Tiny. Tiny, she's good with the jiu-jitsu. She does jiu-jitsu, I believe. So Lexi, this is going to be a technical match, to say the least. We got Ghetto Superstar versus Jackson Street. Part two. Streets, I mean, that match was it was exciting. The fans were into it. That was his debut, Jackson Street. I mean, for somebody who just started, I mean, not bad. I think he kind of has his voice. A lot of people, when they start wrestling, they don't know who they are. Jackson Street kind of seems like he knows who he is, but he's going to have more reps in the ring before he gets comfortable in that aspect. And from my understanding, I mean, I don't know what the deal is with Steve and JoJo, but it looks like Steve's doing a little singles run now. I guess he got that singles itch. Good for him. Among other matches, we got Jules Bradley versus Alex Ventura. They've been having a beef, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been having a exchange of words to one another and some backstage issues. Both trying to submit themselves and prove their worth at DCCW, but we'll find out who is just wanting a little bit more than the other on June 29th.
Yeah, exactly. Because Jules Bradley, he had the thing with Max Dawson, his brother-in-law, for a while. Now all of a sudden, Jules got in the way. I mean, Alex Ventura. I know he's been trying to have like some kind of let me. He's trying to find his place in DCCW, and it just hasn't been working out. He does pretty good matches. I mean, he's competitive, but it just never works out at the end. And all of a sudden, like we saw in the last match, which we'll see in future episodes of Glorify, that he attacked Jules, you know, which I don't understand why, but there's something going on there. And then the big one will be Jake Logan. Who's he facing? Oh, he's facing that dude, Jamie Stanley, right?
Yep, he's going to take him on. Jamie, he pops in and out, but he's always there to take on whoever DCW throws at him. So this time he's going to have opportunity at the DCCW Heavyweight Championship. So we'll see if he can capture it or not.
Yeah, this is Jake's first debut match or first match as a champion, bringing on, from what I hear rumblings or talking about, this is the Fight Me era. He's a fresh face, fresh champion. We had Torres champion for many years now, just like we had La Brava, but now it's like we have new faces, new champion. I guess we are in the Fight Me era of DCCW. So it should be very interesting what's going to happen on June 29th. So any last thoughts, Prince, before we wrap up?
All I got to say is there's Prince, by the way. He's not happy my matchup against Mikey, but Mikey, just be prepared. I got a couple of more appearances I'm gonna make before our show because I got some more things to say. But just be prepared, and you better not try to just belittle me or say what you got to say and think less of me, because Prince Handsome is always more. He's always better. He's always handsome, and he's always here at DCCW, and he's here to stay. And he's one of, like I say, I'm one of the pillars to help hold up DCCW, make it the great place that it is. So you're not going to sleep on me. But yeah.
Yep, and that should be all in all, that should be a great match. Prince Handsome, Mikey Spandex, at this point in your career, because I remember a couple of years ago when you were just getting your feet wet, you still put up a great match. Even the last time you wrestled him about 3 years ago with the whole cupcake incident, still put on a great match. So now I believe you've arrived. I think you're way better than before. So it's going to be very competitive. So Mikey, I mean, his biggest mistake would be underestimating you at this point, thinking you're what you were 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So, and as far as the Rapture, what can I say? You'll probably hear from me, Nick, and Dylan down the line, more specifically to address y'all. But it's going to be a great tag team match. We're going to do what we do. You're going to understand why we run the tag team division real quick. So that's all I got to say about that. So June 29th, Baker County Fairgrounds, DCCW. We got Heat Wave. Be there or be square. So with that being said, go ahead and take us home, Prince.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like and subscribe to the DCCW YouTube channel, as well as like and follow the DCCW page and some of your DCCW favorites like myself and El Nino. And with that being said, I'm Prince Handsome.
I'm El Nino.
And this was Keeping It Handsome.
That's right.